Man United win today, bruv. We're happy. We're smiling. What did you make of the performance, brother?
Yeah, when was the last time we can say we had a simple, easy, and really a quite boring win? Like the performance wasn't scintillating. It wasn't top level. It wasn't at the level of what we played against Sociedad and Arsenal. But for once, we didn't need to do that, because our position were that bad and we were clinical when it needed to be. So yeah, as a performance, I'm not going to write home about it and say it was a masterclass, but as a United fan going through the season that we've been, I'll take a 3-0 where you don't really have to perform like world beaters, Yeah, I'm happy about that. The first half was quite sloppy, I think, with possession. Rasmus has again a goal, which calms us down a little bit. And then going into the second half, I thought, we're gonna might stick on them a little bit more. We didn't. Amarim clearly told them, listen, boys, just relax. You've got your break coming up. You've got a lot of football to play. Going out, gassing out now against Leicester isn't really what you need to do, right? So I think we played more conservative. We contained them, and we ended up getting 2 goals towards the end of the game. Not really much more that can be said there. We can just talk about individual players, really.
No, listen, I agree. It was quite simplistic, and it wasn't. I was a little nervous until the third goal went in, and that's because we've won 3 games away from home all year. We barely keep clean sheets, and you just don't want to throw it away. But in terms of individuals, I wanted to start off actually with young Heaven, because obviously he picks up a really bad injury. And that's gutting for him, but also the performance up until that point was top class, I thought.
Yeah, he was looking very promising. My biggest highlight wasn't even the double block. It was when I think it was Daka running through, got around him on the outside, and he accelerated, kept up, and then just a cheeky outside of the boot to win the ball back. And we have, when have we seen a defender do that for Man United in recent years? Normally, if a player gets around the outside while carrying the ball, they're through one-on-one. Our defenders make a mistake, doing a last-ditch tackle, they're falling over. It's just so nice to see a defender just compose, knowing that the king could be with the attacker, and make a smart tackle as well. He wasn't diving for it. He wasn't doing a last-ditch tackle. It's simple, stick your foot out, outside the foot, flick it out of their path, and we're good to go. So I was really impressed with his performance. Obviously, he had a double block as well. He had a nice little run, drive with the ball as well in that, which was I was impressed with. So we had a answer to a short-term problem we had at left centre back. And of course, because it's United and we saw a green shoot of hope, it got taken away. In another instance where a player has done a defensive action and it's caused them getting injured. It happened with Yaro twice this season. It's happened with Alessandro Martinez, and now with Aiden Heaven, when he was building up speed and we really needed him for the last part of the season. He's just really got in, man, and I'm really upset. And to be fair, I don't know about you, but it put a sour taste for the rest of the game because I just knew that yes, we're winning and we've won. I'm happy, but yeah, man, it's annoying.
It did, and look, Maguire and Yoro will probably be back after the international break, fingers crossed and God willing. But it still left a sour taste because I don't care about anybody else's club when I say this. Man United is built on youth and academy players getting a chance. And yes, he was only purchased in January from Arsenal. So he isn't quite part of the academy, but not all of our young players are. Ronaldo and Rooney were bought at 17, 18 years of age and developed. I mean, Ryan Giggs came in at like 16, 17 to the football club. People have got to do their history and research, and not every young player that we've had and developed has always been from our academy directly. They've come in at that kind of borderline age. And it was just a side note from everything else this season, watching young Heaven get the debut, look accomplished, look controlled, look comfortable. It's just very sad to see. And fingers crossed, as we say, that it isn't as severe as it looks. Maybe if there is some kind of break, hopefully it's more of a hairline, and hopefully it's only a few weeks until he can start playing football, maybe even 6 weeks until he can start playing football again. It'd be horrible to see it some kind of 6 month, 8 month, 9 month sitting on the sideline, because that this period is so important for his development, and I just hope that he's okay, because I think for £1 million signing, one, it shows some of the I think it shows us a little bit of the future of what Man United are going to do in recruitment. And I know not everybody is sort of psyched about the idea of there being a lot of youngsters that are bought, but I see that as very much part of the way Man United were built in the first place. I don't think it means we're not going to sign experience either. I think there will be that combination that we get correct. But very, very sad for him, but a very bright future ahead. And he'll get back. He's young. We saw a bad ankle break for Harvey Elliott a few years back, and he was back in the same season. Obviously, it was a lot earlier, and he's been playing very, very well for Liverpool, and doing his thing. So fingers crossed that turns around well. Obviously, two players tonight as well, though, that have been struggling for goals, confidence, and form. Rasmus and Garnacho both getting goals. I would say Garnacho's performances of late have been looking a lot better. But how important do you think it is that the two of them picked up goals today and had good performances?
Yeah, it's very important, because at the end of the day, they are the attackers that we've got. Many of us don't want them to be. Many of us want them to be squad players. Many fans want them to be sold and moved on and be upgraded upon. But until the summer, these are the attackers that we have. And I'd rather attackers that don't like scoring goals and being confident than having attackers I don't like and they're not scoring goals and they're not performing and they are being poor. So overall, it's been good. I think over the last few games, for both of them, their performances have improved. I think Rasmus, over the last 3 games, his hold-up play has been good. His link-up play has been decent. The fact that he's been threatening in some way, shape, or form is a good thing. It is a good thing. Especially that you saw it, that he did most things right that game. He just didn't get the goal, but led to it. He got a penalty and he got an assist. And now he's got a goal. So now you're hoping, okay, build up your confidence, lad. If you've been selected for Denmark, go play well for them, come back and be firing, because we're going to need you in the Europa League. We're going to need you in the Premier League. And Garnacho, I think another thing for him is him playing on the right. And I think many Man United fans have said it before, but I like him on the right because he plays for the team. It's less about him cutting in and shooting and cutting in, looking like the main guy, and more about, okay, how do I facilitate the play? And as you saw today, he was trying to make things happen for the team. But when he did have a chance to go and shoot, he took them and he took them well. Like the first goal that got disallowed, very good goal. Cut in left foot, weaker foot, curled it in, nice. Second goal, you turn and shoot. We haven't seen enough of that from Garnacho. We've not seen enough of that from Rasmus, where they're clinical and their decision making has been right. Shot selection, when to shoot, when to pass. They are gaining some confidence, and I believe if you put Xerxes with them again for a few more games, I'll start to believe that we see some kind of synergy that we've been lacking. I think throwing Eriksen in there today, he was awful today. He was not good. But if that was Xerxes, I do believe we probably would have scored or maybe had better attacks throughout the game. But we need these guys to be confident. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, but where was it for the last how many games? That's already gone.
Yeah. There is no point moving the goalpost from the on the criticism to then dunk on them some more. The Rasmus one was always so interesting for me because he scored. I was looking at this now, right? He scored 2 goals and an assist in his second game for the manager, and his first start. His third game for the manager, he scores against Forest. He then gets a brace in his next game, straight after that against Victoria Pogson. So he had 5 goals and an assist in his first 4 games under Ruben Amorim. And I remember thinking then, okay, well, he's kind of he likes it. Then you sort of go 19 odd games, and there were some abysmal performances in there. Last game, I actually thought it was good against Sociedad, gets an assist right at the end. Today, I thought it was good, gets a goal. I'm not going to get carried away thinking this is the beginning of a turnaround and he's going to be brilliant forever. What I hope is for a 4, 5, 6, 7 game run where he's getting goals and getting assists and putting in good displays, because that could put us into a semi-final. That could put us into a final of a Europa League, and that's what I care about in the short term. On Garnacho, very, very similar. I've actually been quite happy with Garnacho's performances in the last 5 or 6 games. I think he's been a little bit more composed. His finishing's been off, but I feel like he's been more composed. He's been a little bit less erratic, especially on the right-hand side. I think he, as you say, he plays more for the team. I just want them both to get a little bit more, confidence in front of goal, because we need that. And it's not, and this is the problem I think a lot of United fans have. I understand it, but I think it's a wrong way to think. Oh, I don't want him to do well because the club might decide to keep him. I think that's something to worry about later on down the line, if that makes sense. For right now, Man United need results, because the higher we finish in the league, the more money we get. The better we do in the Europa League, the more money we get. And whether people like hearing it or not, that money's important to us, because we need to improve the squad. And an extra 10, 20, 30 million pound in prize money this season could be the difference between signing 4 players that improve us and signing 5 players that improve us. And I would say so far, the 2 signings we've made since Ruben Amorim has been here, Dorgu and Heaven, look excellent in our side. And you even look at the summer. Xerxes started to come alive now. I've always liked Yoro, other than that one game against Southampton where he was getting cooked. And I think De Ligt and Maz have been excellent signings. I think Ugarte's been good. So if we could have another season next year where our signings look as good as these guys do, plus these guys improve further, we'll be in a much better position next year. So me looking at these guys and wanting them to perform is not about saying, oh, I was right about Garnacho. Oh, I was right about Hojlund. It's not even in the wheelhouse. It's, I want us to finish the season as strong as possible, to gain as much money as possible, to improve the squad. And that may mean replacing one of these 2 guys. So yeah, very, very happy with them indeed.